I feel bad for shitting on the Essence blush. Let's rank all the blushes that I own. A lot of these are my favorites, but there are also a lot that I just don't recommend. Before we get started, I'm gonna quickly go over my ranks. At the very top level, we have She's That Girl. It means I love this product. I recommend it. The second level is the one-time deal. It means that it's a good enough product for me to use up, but I'm not repurchasing it again. The third product is It's Alright. This means the product is alright. I don't love it. I don't hate it, but I just don't gravitate towards it. And then the fourth rank, it means I bought it and I just forgot it existed. And then lastly, at the fifth rank, we have Don't Waste Your Money. I know this probably isn't smart, but for my base, I'm gonna use the M Cosmetics Daydream Cushion Foundation all over my face. You guys are gonna have to give me some grace because I don't have a lot of blush brushes. I'm gonna try my best to clean the brushes really well before I move on to the next one. The first blush we have is the Rare Beauty Powder Blush. I have this in the shade Hope, and it is described as a nude mauve. When I look straight on, it looks like a pretty blush, and I think it is pretty. When I turn though, I really feel like I have a holographic purple shimmer strip on my cheek, and it doesn't look as flattering, I think, in natural daylight. If you were going out and stuff, I think this would be a pretty blush. The formula is soft, it's pigmented, it builds on top of each other really nicely. If you have bumps on your face, it'll accentuate the texture on your face. Truthfully, I have this in the I forgot you existed category because I really forgot about it. It's so fragile that I don't want to use it, so I just have it in my drawers. Next up is the Kosas Blushes Life Blush in the shade Euphoria. This is one of the most pigmented blushes I have in my collection. In person, the blush is very blushing and it just sits on top of the skin so beautifully. It looks flawless and the formula is so soft and pigmented, but not as fragile as the Rare Beauty one. Ever since I bought this has been a staple in my collection. The shade Euphoria is described as a cool mauve, and I think that it really is just that. It is a cooler tone blush. Whenever I wear this, I feel really good. If I'm going somewhere and I know I'm gonna be there for a very long time, this is the blush that I reach for because it's pigmented. It lasts a very long time. If I did not already have so many blushes, this is one that I would purchase in the other shades just because the formula is fabulous. I just can't emphasize it enough. I love this blush so much. I have this in the She's That Girl because, you guys, this blush really is that girl. Out of my collection, if you could only pick one blush, I really would say this is it for you. Y'all, this is blush number 2 and my cheeks are already burning, so the stuff that I do for you guys. So this is the Essence Pure Nude Blush. It has very minimal pigment. I can see that there is a minimal pink base, but I'm instantly overwhelmed with the shimmer. If I wanted this much shimmer on my cheeks, I would just use a highlighter. And I also don't think that the gold base looks pretty on me too. If you're looking for a blush with tons of shimmer and not a lot of base, then this is it for you. It might be a pretty blush topper, but I definitely would not wear it on its own. It just emphasizes way too much on the skin, like the little bumps that I have. I have this in the Don't Waste Your Money category because even though it's affordable, does not mean you need it. It really just does not do anything for me. This is a MAC blush in Melba. It was my #1 favorite blush for the longest time. It's a very subtle and pretty everyday blush if you have a skin tone like mine or lighter. Unfortunately, if you have a darker skin tone, I'm not sure if this is going to show up, and if it does, you might have to build it up quite a bit. At first, it doesn't look like there's anything there, but once you add it up, you can really see it come to life. I'm wearing so much of it because I really want you guys to see the color. It's just such a pretty peach color and it's so pigmented. If you have never tried any MAC blushes, then I highly recommend at least this one because it's pigmented, it's pretty, it lasts long, and it sits really nicely on top of the skin. Even though it's matte, my face doesn't feel or look drying at all. There are some very special occasions when I'm going out. If I don't know what blush to use, then this will always be my go-to. This is definitely going in the She's That Girl category because she really is that girl, you guys. So pretty. I don't even want to take it off. The next blush that we're going to be using is the Milani Luminoso blush. I absolutely love this blush so much as well. This is the blush I travel with because it is reliable. It leaves a pretty sheen, and I don't know what it is about this formula, but it really stays on my cheek so well throughout the day. This one is so much better than the Essence Pure Nude one because it has a base color and the sheen. It's such an easy everyday blush color. This is actually my everyday. It has shimmer on my cheeks, but there's also also a pink base color on it. It's so pretty and so subtle, the base color, but it's not completely missing like the Essence one. And I feel bad for shitting on the Essence blush, but this one is just 1,000 times better. Like the MAC one, it gives you a very beautiful sheen and glow, so youthful. I use this again every day. You guys can see this blush is completely flat. This is definitely in the She's That Girl, and I love that it's affordable. This is the NYX Buttermelt blush in the shade You Know Butter. It's a very bright blush. It is soft and pigmented, and it applies beautifully on the cheeks. You guys can see how pigmented this is. This is reminding me a little bit of the Rare Beauty blushes. However, it's just not glittery. I think that the Rare Beauty blushes are glittery, but this one is more shimmery and it has a golden sheen. I know I look like a clown and I know I look crazy, but I really want you guys to see the color and the potential. This is what I'm expecting the Essence blushes to look like, just not one that I reach for, even though the formula is pretty. I have this in the one-time deal. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't really reach for it as often. Then we have Miss Dior. This is the Dior Rosy Glow blush in the shade 012 Rosewood. I really wanted to like this blush, but it's just not pigmented enough for the price. It's not even like the MAC blush where you could build it up, and once you build it up, you really get that like pop of color. It's just taking forever, and for the price point, you guys, I just don't think it's worth it at all. I mean, eventually, once you stamp it on, I think it looks pretty on the skin and it's flawless, but if I had to choose between this one or a MAC blush, I would go with the MAC blush any day. I mean, like I said, eventually, if you build it up enough, it's pretty and it's soft, but I just feel like it is so much more extra work, especially for the price. And this is probably meant to be more subtle so that you could build it up. But I think that if I am buying a blush at this price point, I expect a little more pigment. I'm not gonna lie, once you apply it on, it's pretty and it looks flawless on the skin and it melts in the skin nicely. But I just don't think that it's worth it, you guys. Another thing I keep complaining about is the mirror quality. I don't know if I got a bad one, but the mirror is very blurry, and I've tried like peeling it. I've tried using my tweezers to try to peel it, see if it's a film sticky layer, but I don't know if you guys can see. It's just so blurry. I don't know. And because I already bought it, I'm going to use it up. But will I recommend you guys to spend your hard-earned cash on this? Absolutely not. This is going in the do not waste your money category. The last powder blush I have is the Revie Beauty Endless Diffusion Everyday Baked Blush in the shade Paradise. If you guys don't know, this is actually Allie Glein's makeup brand. I really look up to Allie and I think that she is such an inspiration. This is such a pretty color. I think that if you are any darker than me, I'm not sure how well this blush will show up on your face, just because I do have to work kind of hard to get at it. And again, I'm going very heavy-handed with these blushes because I want to make sure that they show up on camera. But this is such a pretty color. It is very healthy. It's not anything too crazy. You will really have to build it up though. I like this blush, but I don't reach for it as much as I want to. I will be honest and put this in the one-time deal. I think it's great. The formula is beautiful on the skin. It looks very nice. It lays on top of the skin, applies smoothly. I wish it just had a little more pigment so that I could feel comfortable recommending it to you guys. It's made in Italy, so that's why it's a little bit more pricey. That was all of the powder blushes. Now we're gonna go into the liquids and creams. I'm gonna start off with the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Cheek Tint. I have shade 53 and 62. I am going to start off with 53 first, and this is a very bright bubblegum pink color that I'm gonna say this a lot. If you have darker skin tone than me, don't even bother with shade 53 because it will not show up on you. It barely shows up on me. So I'm just going to put these on my cheeks. I'm not sure what the hype is about these blushes because I just don't think they're all that. So here is shade 53. I mean, you can see it. It's very, very subtle. subtle, it just blends out to nothing. And if you are getting a color like this at this price point, you want a little bit of pigment. Because of the color and the finish, it almost looks drying, and I feel like I have a cast. I wanted to be fair, and I did apply a decent amount, although I feel like this is a lot of the look that maybe the Korean girls like, is that super pale color on their cheeks. But this is what shade 53 looks like. Yeah, it's such a thin formula, it blends out to practically nothing. And now I'm gonna put shade 62 on top of it, kind of farther back. This one at least is darker, so it's a little more pigmented. Even then, I think if I could return them, I would, because they're so expensive. And I understand that these are supposed to be more natural, but you are wearing makeup because you do want it to show up a little bit. I will say that it does make the face look pretty smooth and flawless. I'm most definitely gonna put these in the do not waste your money category, because you do not need to be spending almost $40 on each blush. It's just ridiculous. Then we have the Charlotte Tilbury Glowgasm Beauty Light Wand in the shade Pink Gasm. I know I've been bashing a lot of blushes, but we're still on that train of disappointing blushes. I bought this when the Charlotte Tilbury craze was still crazy. All these girlies made videos with this blush, and they made it look so cool, like I needed to get it. First of all, I find it very annoying to blend out because it kind of just stays where you put it. Second of all, I wore this the other day. Let me tell you, by the end of the day, it was gone. I think it blends away to nothingness. Even like right now it looks really good, but if you scratch your face or something throughout the day, this is not one that's going to stay with you. Because I have it, I'll use it, but is it worth the hype? Definitely not. There are so many other blushes that you could still achieve the same look for way more affordable, like the e.l.f. ones. Because I've talked about those so much, I'm not going to be talking about them. It also emphasizes texture, and it's not pretty in natural daylight, so this is not a blush that I recommend at all. There's also not a lot of product. The packaging is an issue, and you really are just paying for the brand name. I have two of the e.l.f. liquid blushes. I'm gonna put one on each side. It has a stiff applicator, but it does the job. We're gonna blend out the lighter shade first. You guys will see this is such an effortless formula. It really blends out beautifully on the skin, and it leaves a pretty sheen on the cheeks. You can layer it, and it's buildable, so very natural for every day. Once I blend it out, this one really looks like the Rare Beauty one. You can't really tell a difference. I'd say the Rare Beauty one is just a tad more pigmented even after you blend it out. And with these, it does dry a little bit faster than the Rare Beauty one, I've noticed, because I put that dot on my cheek and now I'm having a harder time blending it out, and it's just kind of right there. So that's something to keep in mind. This, I don't know if you guys can see, but this one has dried kind of fast, almost like it's stained there. This is what the e.l.f. blushes look like. Again, nearly rose. I'm gonna put these in the they're alright category. I do like them. I think they are a great affordable option for a liquid blush, but the formula kind of like, I don't know, I'm gonna zoom you guys in. Can you see it's just stained right there, and it won't budge no matter how much I try to blend it out. Yes, it was my fault because I took a second longer to blend it out than I should have. Then we have the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch blushes, and I do really like this blush. I think that is one of the very few products that are worth the hype. It has a slanted applicator, which is nice. I usually just put a little bit because a little does go a long way, and I'm sure everybody and their mother has tried this. I literally got it for my mom as a birthday present because I do like it. So with this blush, like the e.l.f. one, it is effortless and it's pigmented, and it just gives you a very youthful glow on your cheeks, which I like. This formula blends out evenly. It just is a little bit more pigmented than the e.l.f. ones. I like the color on me. I think it's wearable for every day. I'm just gonna do a little more just because I want it to show up on camera better. I do bring this with me every time I travel. The only thing about this, and I've just noticed it recently, is that now every time I close it, I notice that the cap kind of gets messy and I have to wipe it off, and I don't know why that is. I don't know why. It's just pretty. It looks pretty on the skin. It gives you a nice glow. It melts into your skin as you blend it out, and it's easy to work with. My mom really likes this blush as well. This is one of those formulas where I apply on and I don't have to worry about it. After I apply blushes like this, I will set my under eye a little bit and then kind of go around the blush so that it still kind of has that sheen on it. I have this in the She's That cat girl categories. If I had to throw my entire collection away, these are the 4 blushes that I would keep. So the Milani Luminoso, Kosas Blushes Life and Euphoria, MAC Melba, and then Rare Beauty and Hope. Otherwise, the other blushes are okay, subpar, wouldn't repurchase. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!